On the history wall, the 1450s, Part 2, the Renaissance continues. In Germany, George Faust is born. Yes, that Faust, who so many people have written books about. And so the question is, what would you sell your soul to the devil for? In Russia, Ivan III is the first leader to call himself Tsar, which is Russian for Caesar. The timing is interesting because the Byzantine Empire, the last gasp of the Roman Empire, had just ended. And then one of my favorite people from the Renaissance, Giovanni Pico della Mirandola. And so he defends his 900 theses about religion against all comers. At the age of 23, he wrote these 900 theses about basically critiques of the church that would lead to Martin Luther's ideas that led to Protestantism. And so against all of the church fathers, he defended these 900 theses point by point, and he won, which is pretty amazing. He also wrote the book Oration on the Dignity of Man, which later became known as the Manifesto of the Renaissance. And finally, before his young death, probably by poisoning by his enemies, he sparks Christian Kabbalism. And so this is the combination of mystic Jewish thinking with Christianity. This is the kind of stuff that led to Rosicrucianism and Freemasonry. It's basically the idea of using some magic and good character to make yourself and the world a better place. And he did this all before dying quite young. In France, the first prose book is written and used. And earlier, the first French farce was done, as well as the first press at the Sorbonne. This is what makes this time so similar. In one sense, is this flowering of culture. So many more people can talk. And I know with Twitter, we all say, oh, any asshole can have an opinion these days. That's the exact same thing they were saying in the Renaissance. And when you track the letters between all these people, it is as much shit-talking and sometimes worse. You'd say things about pig fucking and about your enemies back then that you wouldn't say now. It was so similar with the way that they would pick at each other. Also, the first time that the plus and negative signs were used, and it was also a terrible time of politics and war and hatred, just like now. Spain takes Granada back and kicks all the Arabs out of the European continent, but they also expel all the Jews or convert them. So all of this is a bloodbath of hatred. And then the papal bull against witchcraft leads to the death of so many innocent women living on the edges of towns. And as well, the world is getting explored. Diego Cam finds the mouth of the Congo. Columbus sails to the New World. Diaz finds a new route to India, and all of a sudden, trade changes in an amazing way. Brant writes his Ship of Fools, which I have a video about. Paine describes the tobacco plant, which changes the world as well. And then finally, the Spanish Inquisition. So much of this is similar today. The flowering of information, the hatred between people, so much information that you never will be able to truly understand what was going on in the world, and it must have been confusing then as it is now.